Hi, everybody. It's Leanne
Hi.
and Stephanie from the Healing Studio. We're giving you our updates as far as what we know is going on energetically. Tell you that I'm definitely feeling like allergies are on the list for sure. But yeah, let's just kind of jump into what we're noticing with our clients and with just the energy. I feel like, if we're just kind of constantly saying, oh, things are crazy.
Yeah,
uh, but I did feel like June was a little bit calmer, more smooth, don't you?
I do. I do. The big theme for June, when I was thinking about it, especially in my Reiki circle, but even among my clients, is just really, really sleepy, tired,
Mm,
but not able to sleep at night.
mm,
So it's like this. And we do so much work at night that I think we're doing a lot of work in the astral or, in the background.
mhm.
And so we're getting adequate hours of sleep, but not feeling like we're sleeping.
Yeah, that's kind of astral disruption. And I feel like there's not, I don't know, a lot of my clients are mostly experiencing, like, really kinda coming to the edge of things, like, "Oh, okay, I have to make a decision right now to either not do this anymore or to, you know, change this or really face that this is what it is," you know? And
Yeah, yeah, big transitions. A lot of people are in that in between space, like you're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah. Which, I mean, the light council and stuff has been talking about for a while. We had those, the butterfly metaphors and things like that going along, but I feel like now it's literally like you can't go back to old stuff, like, it's really not available. And
It's kind of like we're in that butterfly phase where the butterfly has to break out of the cocoon.
mhm,
And we
mhm.
have to, and the butterfly has to make a choice, but it's not a choice they can't make because you can't stay in the cocoon the rest of your life.
Right, right, but it's also kind of somewhat challenging, and it's maybe something you've been doing for a long time, and also just, some things where you have to do it alone, and people don't know what you're doing, and you can't explain it to people until it's over with, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so that's been interesting, and then a lot of people feeling very lonely, even if they have lots of people in their life. I'm noticing that a lot. Kind of feeling like they either have, you know, something going on that only they know about, or, they, really are genuinely alone and don't have a lot of people in their life. That's kind of coming up too, which
A
I mean,
lot
I
of people looking for their tribe.
think, right.
And maybe the tribe that they had isn't serving them anymore. Maybe the
Mhm.
tribe they had they don't resonate with it anymore. So they're looking for something they resonate more with.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I guess it's nice that, this day and age we have things like Meetup or whatever, so you could kind of try to plug into the universe, "Okay, this is who I wanna be around," but, it's one of those things that at the healing studio, we're all about, like, even just for each other is that space of, we can hold space for each other's work, when the world can always, when the world is a little like, "Okay, that's
Yeah.
too way out there for us." But I feel like a lot of old stuff is coming back into, like, old wisdom, um, you know, so, I mean, I don't know if you know this, but you couldn't be a doctor back in the day without knowing astrology. Like, you had to know astrology to be a doctor, and then,
That's
science
all
got a little more involved and, like, made that woo-woo weird, but
great.
but,
Great.
some of this wisdom that has always been hanging out there I feel is, like, kind of unearthing itself, and, it
Because
feels
we've come to a point where science can only explain so much. And we know there's more going on than like science really is so concrete that it's like this is right here right now and I can see it, touch it, feel it. And that's not explaining everything anymore.
well, and sometimes science is slow too. I mean, it's, like, it's by the time science measures it or looks at it, it's over, so, letting our eyes, our intuition, our senses kind of come back online so we can use our own, innate wisdom is really, a good thing for us to be doing. Um, yeah, and I mean, I think I can't believe it's already July 2024. Um, it feels like there's 2024 has been, kind of that like tumble. I do think that, I mean, in the US, and I know that our political system impacts the world, but the political stuff is really making people
Yeah.
crazy, and
Well, and um, I'm seeing two different energies come up, which
Mhm,
both make a lot of sense, and there's really space for both. And one is a huge fear of everything that's going on, especially in the United States where we are. And then a huge, like, new energies are coming in, just be patient.
mhm,
New energies are coming in, just be patient. And so there's those two sides of the same coin that, yes, both things are going on at the same time, but it's, some people are choosing to focus more on the fear and what could possibly happen in the future that might not, be for our highest and best benefit. And other people are choosing to focus on more what's coming in the bigger picture and what's going to be on the other side of that.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the kind of metaphors I would give about like the new energies is like, how some people are using it is like a brand new beautiful dishwasher has been installed and you use it as a drying rack. Like like it does more than just hold your dishes, right? So, I don't think everybody knows what to even do with this new energy yet.
Right.
So, but I do see people getting pretty excited about their own gifts, about their own, experiences, and that's cool to watch, because I think that's kind
Yeah.
of been, tampered down a little bit for a bit. So,
Yeah, lots
um,
and lots of people coming in saying, "So I've always been able to do this, but I've never been able to tell anybody that I know how to do this.
yeah,
And so what do
yeah,
I do with it now?"
right. Or my significant other thinks I'm really strange, but like it's yeah. Where I mean, I find that with the energies, when we own it and we own what we do and we own like who we are, the people around us don't question it as much as they do when we question ourselves. So
Exactly.
it's like
And
if
I
we
think
don't.
people are also starting to realize that they just can't keep it put away anymore, that
Right,
it's really, really needed now.
right, right, and I mean, so, working where necessary in that space for yourself is gonna be the key for going in July. Now, I do have some information from my sources that July is gonna be another turbulent one, and I hate to, like, just put those forecasts out there, like, willy-nilly, like, "Well, it's gonna be," but, I June was a little bit calmer, and it was, and I think we could feel that, and I really just feel like sometimes when we're talking about this stuff getting kinda bumpy, it's just so that we know, grounding every single day, really getting into the ideas that, you are an energy center, and just like you brush your teeth, and take a shower, hopefully,
Hopefully.
you are putting yourself in, the best energetic health you can by paying attention to your energy bodies, and if you don't know how, there's tons of books, there's tons of resources, ask
Well,
us, we'll tell you.
and the really good analogy to keep the fear out of it and to stay in your own lane is kind of like we know in Colorado, we have thunderstorm season, and
Mhm,
thunderstorm season sometimes brings hail. And we don't need to necessarily be afraid of thunderstorm season. We just need to make sure we have an umbrella
mhm,
and, maybe put our cars in the garage or throw a blanket over them or something. Like we know if it's coming, just how to protect ourselves and our space. And so it's the same thing. We don't really need to be afraid of thunderstorms. They just happen, right?
right.
It's kind of the same thing with turbulent energy. If we're afraid of it, we're standing out in the middle of it going, geez, I hope I don't get struck by lightning. But, if we're just like, oh, thunderstorms happen and here's my umbrella and I'm going to stay inside and watch it from over here.
Right, right, and sometimes, I mean, you do have to do some extra things, like, bring your poor little plants inside or something, like,
Right, right.
it's yeah, I mean, there's stuff to do. Now, I also am hearing from, kind of the guides and stuff is that, praise and, like, compliments are gonna be really important this month, so being, like, a little over the top, with it as much as you can, so, when you see somebody who looks nice, even if it's a stranger, "Oh, I love your shirt, it's so cute." You know, that kind of thing.
I
Um,
end up doing that.
and I mean, genuinely, like, don't make things up, but, you know, because people
Yeah.
could feel that too. But, you know, it being overly verbal about the gratitude of the people around. And I think that that helps a little bit with getting us from our internal kind of world too, when we have to look out and we have to see, you know, what everybody else is up to. And you know, sometimes that we can get in our heads about, you know, the one guy who cut us off in traffic on the way here, and you know, there were 50 other people on the road with us that we didn't even notice, you know. So
Yeah.
um it's like, you know, noticing the good
It's
stuff.
interesting because I was thinking about this morning after a big meditation, and I was sitting there thinking, there's that saying, everybody's going through a battle you know nothing about, so
Yeah.
always be kind. And I was taking it a little bit further in that everything that everyone is going through is just a reflection of their needing love.
Hmm.
Anger is, I need love, and sadness is, I need love. I'm not getting the love that I need right now. And so just radiating that love from your heart, and
Hmm.
just kind of like, I'm just going to bring this out and offer it to whoever is able to pick it up right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I've have this, I mean, contact with somebody who is a little rough around the edges as a natural way of being, and when she gets around me, she doesn't act like that. And one time it kind of like showed like how she kind of just is naturally kind of showed through, and then she kind of looked at me and she said, "Oh, I can be a little rough, and I don't, you know, I don't do that around you out of respect." And I said, "Well, thank you." And it was actually, you know, I mean, it was interesting because I never said to her, "Please don't be, you know,
Yourself.
negative or rude or cuss a lot," or, you know, I never said that those are my rules, right? I never said that. But you know, the gentleness offering or the heart opening offering kind of opened her up to being more in that receiving space than she needed to be kind of battling the world, if that makes sense. And it was just, it's kind of interesting to watch that, because there's a lot of unspoken energies that go between us, you know. And
Right.
it's nice to be able to see it happen and then kind of work with it mindfully, you
Mhm.
know. And so yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that is coming up that we really need to, I mean, I we did the intentions and affirmations class, um, and I mean, the guides brought up that there's gonna be big transitions coming, still. So, you know, in the like September, October, I think is when they were kind of saying. And if I look at my own polls, that kind of that tracks.
Mhm.
So big transitions require a light foot, you know, like light energy, because you don't wanna hang on to too much, you don't wanna resist the shift because it's coming anyways, and so you'll just get kinda pummeled by the energetics. So just giving yourself a chance to see, like, you know, where could I lighten up a little bit so that this
Well,
transition can work with
and
me.
the big words around transition are surrender and trust and reassurance.
And acceptance of
Acceptance.
what is, right?
Right.
Or what isn't. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. And if you're watching this later, thanks for watching later. We plan to keep doing this just a chat once a month, you know, first Tuesday of the month at this time. So if you want to put it on your calendar, always, if you know, subscribing to my YouTube channel will get you notifications of when I'm going live. But you know, come talk to Stephanie and I in the chat if you want to, if you have any other questions. But yeah, happy July. All
Bye,
right, we'll
everybody.
see you later. Bye. Hold on. I'm like, bye everybody, hold on. Something got in the way of me ending the stream. Bye for real now.